Hello, and I'd like to introduce you to Susan. Today, I am doing a client interview. This is Susan Mercer. Hello, Susan. Good to see you. So we are at almost our 12-month mark. We're coming up on like in a matter of days. 12 months we've been working together. So I brought Susan on to talk with you guys about her experience of doing this mindset work with me. She's come a long way, but I don't want to say that for her. I'd like her to say that in her own words. So first of all, so this is Susan Mercer. Say hello, Susan.
Hello.
Okay, so where are you living right now?
I'm in Newfoundland, Canada. I'm probably the only person you have from Newfoundland, Canada in your program.
So far.
Yeah.
Have you lived there your whole life?
On YouTube.
Yeah. That's the beauty of online, right? It's like, even though I'm in New Jersey and Susan's in Newfoundland, it's like, how did she find, well, YouTube. So that brings me to, I would really love for you to share your history of like, so a bit about your dieting history, any part of that story you'd like to share, how we met, of course, and then up to the point of like deciding mindset work is where it's at.
Yes, well, I think I joined RealFit, your site, in 2016. At the time, I wouldn't really say I had a diet plan. I was just eating regular with no thought of calories or macros or processed versus non-processed. And I was tired all the time, like all the time I was tired. Never at that time combine that with the food I was eating. So at the time, I considered getting fit, as in doing workouts, your physical activity, right? So that's where I started, is with RealFit. And my first big change was going from a purely cardio person to the importance of strength training. But then
I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, but of course, like, as you know, you can probably work out all you want, but if you're not eating the right things, you're not going to have success. So when I changed my diet, it was first in 2017. I actually signed up with a program that kind of marketed itself as an anti-diet, you know? Mm-hmm. And so when I joined up with that program, I didn't consider myself on a diet, even though I was restricting food types. It was basically alternating a keto diet. Like, I do keto for 1 month, and then 1 month I would just eat like carbs and stuff again. But the main focus was on eating non-processed foods. And I had tremendous success with the program, even though my intention with the program, because I mentioned before I was tired all the time, and after going to doctor appointments over the years and nothing fixing the issue, I finally myself, not at the advice of any physician or anything, but just myself, I decided to look at what I was eating. So the thing with this, I'm calling it a diet program now.
Yeah, now we know, right?
Program. Yeah, the thing with the diet program is I had tremendous success, but it wasn't because of the
So would you pause for a moment? How would you define success? Do you mean weight loss? Do you mean leaning out? Like, define success.
The success for me at that time was not feeling tired anymore.
Okay.
I completely cut down on the inflammation. I completely cut down on my sleep issues disappeared. Like, I was able to fall asleep at night. I wake up now at 7 o'clock in the morning instead of 12 o'clock, and then still waking up at 12 o'clock, having to take a nap in the middle of the day, you know. But also, I lost a lot of weight. Like, I'd say my whole life I was on average around 125 pounds. And with this program, I got down to 108. That was my lowest thing. But then something happened. I had tremendous success with the program, and I was following the program for about, let's say I started in 2017, probably around 2020, 2021, I started loosening up the rules a little bit, and I started gaining weight back. And even though when I started the diet, weight loss was not my goal, it kind of became the goal once I started seeing success with it. And it got to the point where, even though I got to 108 pounds, I've never been there before in my life. It, to me at the time, it felt like if I gained it back, I was a failure, you know? And it became about weight loss to me, right? So when I started gaining weight back, like maybe I was going on a trip and I didn't want to stick to the keto diet. And I suppose because I was still trying to fit into the clothes that I was fitting in, I'm calling it now, like my fat would hang over my jeans, and I'd walk around my house, like just grabbing on to the fat and being like, oh my God, I got to get rid of this, you know? And then your food, I'm sorry, what's it called?
The roadmap to food freedom.
Yeah.
I
mean,
that's okay.
This was the second time that I believe you offered it, that I decided to play along. The funny thing is the first time you played along, like you offer the program, I was like, oh yeah, that's good. Like, I don't need that program. I know everything, and I'm all good with what I'm doing, you know? But then the participants started posting the activities they were doing, and I thought that was pretty interesting. Maybe if she offered it again, I'll just take part. So you offered it again, and I decided to take part. And there was one task you gave, I believe, I can't remember what day it was, but it was taking a selfie. Oh yeah. You asked somebody to take a selfie and post it. And at the point where I was with a few pounds on, I didn't feel confident to post a selfie of me in the present time. I had to go back and look for a selfie where I thought I looked good, what I should look when I posted that. And you just made this comment like, okay, that's good and all, but like, I see you for everything underneath that. And that was the first time where it gave me pause, where it was like, wait a minute, how come I couldn't post a current selfie? You know, like, why couldn't I do that? Yeah, like, and it just got me thinking too, you know, maybe I don't have it all figured out. Maybe there's still things I could learn. Maybe that it doesn't have to be to the point where I have to fit into the clothes, but the clothes have to fit me, you know? So I did some thinking there during that time. And the thing is right when I joined that food program, I was planning on getting right back into the keto diet like a week later. And of course, you know, that I signed up with your mentorship program, and I never did do keto again. I've never stepped on a scale since. And it's just, I'm completely, well, we'll get into the takeaways of the program, but let's go there. You know, it's just part of like now this natural like evolution. You can hear Susan sharing her story about like how sometimes you don't really like, we're swimming in diet culture all the time. We don't realize like there's stuff going on in the background that we just operate as our normal. I think that is, I'm really happy that you shared that, because I also remember you saying like, oh, I've been following Dana for so long. I don't know how much she's going to teach me. I've had other clients say that too. And it's like this mindset stuff, the 12 modules and the whole coursework is a whole nother realm of Dana that we can't get into when we're lifting weights and we're doing our workout videos together, you know? So, okay. So you said, okay, I went through the roadmap to food freedom. You're like, there's more of this nut to crack.
And you just said, yep, I'm doing it. And we started working together. So now fast forward a year later, what are some of the major takeaways you have? Like, how has it really impacted your life in a fundamental way, like a real tangible way?
Well, the biggest way I think is acceptance over my own body, no matter where that needs to be at that point. Like, the amazing thing is even when I loosen up the reins, it's not like I gained 50 pounds. I mean, like I'm still a small person, but I don't put that worth in my weight anymore. It's all about how I feel on the inside. And if one thing I did, I went on my social media and I deleted all the progress pics I've ever posted, because to me it was, I kind of got like, what's the point of them? Like I posted a progress pic that I had lost all this weight, but what does it mean if I gain it back? Like, did that mean, you know?
Yeah. That's why I never will post it. Like I wrote about this kind of recently in a post I shared on Facebook. It was about like, you'll never see me on any, and I've been in the fitness industry for nearly 3 decades. I've never posted like before and after pics at all, because it's never after. It's like, this is during, this is life. So it's like, and to that point of like, we don't need any more reason to feel bad as like, we need another reason that we failed at something. Like, no, it's in process, because your body is constantly changing through different seasons and chapters. So that's a good thing to go back and delete that, because it doesn't need to define you. Yeah. I didn't realize you did that.
Yeah. I only had them on my Instagram. I never posted stuff like that on Facebook anyway. Yeah. But I went back and deleted all that stuff. And like, I have some jeans and stuff in there that, you know, at my smallest I bought, and it fit me snugly. Obviously, it's not going to fit me as much anymore, but that's okay. You know?
Yeah.
I won't throw them away. Maybe someday I'll wear them again, but whatever. I'm not going to kill myself over it.
Yeah.
So that was the main thing, like the not having to just like when I was on keto, like I'd have to turn down dinner invites. Like I'd decide not to go away for a weekend because it would be harder to follow the diet, telling myself the whole time that it wasn't a diet, it was a lifestyle change. Doing stuff like intermittent fasting, like making myself hungry just so I can fit into a small size pants. It was just, as long as I still feel good, as long as I still feel like the initial reasons I went into it for, like the energy, the no inflammation, the stuff like that, like as long as I'm still feeling like that is the main priority to me, which it was in the beginning. But I'm just trying to get back now to why I started eating the way I did. Yeah.
Love it. And, you know, so sometimes women will be a little nervous about doing the work because they're afraid of, like, I guess, going completely off the rails and like, oh, I can eat anything I want whenever I want. And that's not necessarily the case. And as you're hearing Susan share, it's been for her about how her health is impacted, like energy levels specifically. But that's what we learned together in the program. It's more about how can I eat and fuel myself where I feel really good as much as I possibly can. And that's really where you've learned to navigate food without following any particular diet. It's like the Susan diet, if you want to call it that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a moving target, you know?
When I eat white rice, I look 9 months pregnant, so I don't eat white rice very much.
Yeah, like you just blow up. It doesn't respond. You don't respond well to white rice. And that's the thing that's so important to navigate and understand. And that in working with me, that's what we figure out is like, you get to get your own power back about deciding which foods align with your well-being. How do you feel emotionally? What am I thinking? Like psychologically, and then physically, how your body's responding, inflammation, pain. Maybe you realize, oh my God, I eat this thing and then I want to take a nap you know, those are important things to notice. And then that's how you figure out and put together like your own way of eating and build your confidence again. So awesome. So anything else that you have? Major takeaway?
Yes. Another major takeaway is that this 12-month program was not just about diet. Like it kind of helped me in other aspects of my life too. Like even the issues I was having at work, like I could take what I learned from this program and apply it to different situations. A lot of it is understanding other people's journey. Like you can't compare yourself to other people, and other people have their own struggles they're going through, and to just be more patient and more understanding and more compassionate with others as well. Like I know at work I was having a big issue with the manager that wasn't doing what I expected I would do in that situation. And it just taught me to kind of step back and just realize that she's doing the best she can within her capabilities, within her history, and just to see what I can do more so to help her instead of just go against her, you know? And it's not just that, it's just being aware of your emotions as well in just every facet of your life, recognizing when thoughts are coming that probably aren't, what's the word I'm looking for, related to the current situation. Like I don't know how to say this. Like you might like say, first of all, I never yell at my husband, okay? But just for an example, maybe I get mad at my husband today, but maybe it's not about me being mad at my husband. Maybe there's some underlying issue that is making me yell at him, and I'm just taking it out on him, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just those things, that there's always layers of issues. And that's what I liked about the work, you know, like you ask questions that really get you thinking of a different perspective, a different way to think. And it's been very helpful in every aspect of my life.
I love that. I love it. That's why we don't even talk about food till module 6, which is halfway through the course. Yeah. And that's why, it's because it's not really about the food. It's about our relationship to ourselves and how we're interacting with other humans in our life. And there's so much that we avoid in that interaction, or we're very harsh and judgy, but it's really because we're harsh and judgy on ourselves. And if we can make peace with that, then we start to make peace with the dynamics in our relationships in our world. And then therefore, we're turning less to food and less to the coping mechanisms. And we're actually able to I love how you said, I'm asking you questions and it's just getting you to think differently. You know, a lot of times women are afraid to do this work because they think they have to do. And maybe it's not even so much doing, it's more like listening, absorbing, reflecting, right? Not one more thing to do.
Yeah.
So what do you would say was your favorite part of the program? There's different aspects, right? We have our group calls, we have the modules, there's maybe even some takeaways in between the modules where we say the magic really happens in your real life. But what would you say was is your favorite part of the program?
I would have to say actually doing the modules, and I think it's probably at the end of every module you have that checklist. Mm-hmm. And it just reaffirms to me to go back to the beginning, and not the daily affirmations. That is one very big thing that at the beginning of this I probably would have thought is silly and a waste of time. Mm-hmm. But at the end of every module, I'll just by doing the checklist, I always go back and look at that master checklist and all that stuff just to see other things I could check off. And I'm in module 11 now, and I just love seeing the progress that I've made. I had to go back to module 3 and look at some statements I previously made, and seeing that some of them don't apply anymore. Like it's just, it's great.
It's exciting, right? Like you look back, because in module 3, we uncover limiting beliefs. And at the time you're writing it, it feels so true. You're like, I don't know how I'm ever going to break up with this thought because it's so heavy and so hard. And I hate myself so much about this or that, or however you're judging yourself. But the work tends to, all you need to do is go through it. And a lot of the magic unfolds just in that process. And then, like Susan said, she's in module 11, there's 12 altogether. And she is, give you opportunities to go back and look where you can start to see, wow, I'm not even like triggered by that. I'm not even, that doesn't even feel real. That doesn't even feel like, that's like an old part of me. Like that doesn't exist anymore. It's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, it is.
So she also shared she's in module 11. We're coming up on 12 months, but I wanted to just reiterate that it's a self-paced course. And actually, I remember, I don't know if you remember saying this, Susan, when we first started working together, they're like, I think I'm going to do a module a month. Do you remember saying that? Which I thought was so wise, because I've lots of women who are like, I want to dive in, I want to consume it, especially if I have binge eaters, they want to binge the content, right? If you're binging food, it's just part of like habit. Thinking, let me consume this really fast because that's how I can just get over this shit and like learn it and just fix it. However, through the process, the slower you go, the more accelerated and the more you really get to apply to your life. So I love that, I just wanted to highlight that, because if anyone's watching this video and this interview, thinking about doing the work, it is self-paced, and it's not just about getting through the content, it's about finding your way in your own rhythm. And I'm sure there were modules you went faster than others, right?
Yeah, the science one I did in like a week.
Yeah, module 9, the science, or like if you're a nerd and you're like love to go back to school, yeah, that one you're going to be like, it's fun to learn about fascia and like muscles and anatomy 101 and all that stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to reiterate to say it's self-paced. Susan took her time. She already knew from the beginning she was going to take her time, and look at that. She's right on track. And, but that's okay. Even if you consume fast, I've also had clients who were like, I'm just going to rip through it, which I drop the modules every 2 weeks, by the way, when you join. However, if you go at that pace, you may realize on your own, like, wait, this is my life. I don't really need to speed through. Let me just slow down. Let me just take it one little bit at a time. And I love that you did that, and that her and I aren't done working together. That don't worry, I'm not just gonna be like, okay, figure it out, 12 months is up. We have a plan. We're working together beyond our 12 months. So don't you worry if like, oh my God, what happens at the end? Is she just going to leave me high and dry? Never, 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 never. However, I do also have clients who are like, I'm going to spread my wings now. I'm good, which is absolutely fine. I'm not an enabler like the diets in your life. I don't want you to like need me or need to follow some strict rules or anything. I'm here to support you for as long as you need support. So, okay. So Susan, if there's anyone who's on the fence about doing this work, what would you say to them?
Tell them to take the plunge for sure. Like me, I didn't think I needed it. Like I didn't think I had a problem. I thought I knew everything there was to know and that it would be no benefit to me. I can tell you that at this point now, I still have one module to go, but I will never go back to restricting myself ever again. I can guarantee that. I can guarantee that my main focus will be on body acceptance going forward. And even my language has changed. Like I hate to even refer to anybody's size anymore. And like, if I can just say one little story that happened last night. My husband is starting his own graphic design business, and he's taken pictures of me working out before, and he showed me a mock ad he done up last night where it was me in like one of my positions where all my muscles were showing, and his big caption was like, "Get the perfect body." And he just wanted an opinion on how his ad looked. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's great. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I would never put that caption up there, like,
Yeah. Yeah. My, how
so
things
it's just,
change. Like you can't unsee it, like once you see
yeah.
things with with diet culture and how we really shame people. I mean, it's everywhere. Good. That's good that you
So
saw
it's like,
that.
yeah, good advertisement.
Right.
But at the end, I'm like, no.
Yeah. And what's cool too is that like you saw it there, but it makes you a more savvy consumer. Like now that you know this stuff, you can't unknow it. And as you're scrolling through Instagram and Facebook and wherever, you're more in tune to see those marketing ploys. You can see it. You see where they're starting to like just try to play at your insecurities. And what's so cool about doing this mindset work is that you're like, no more. I see what you're doing. And I know you're not getting my money. You're not getting my money and my insecurity. Like it's not happening. So it's really, really powerful to be here on this other side. So awesome. Thank you so much, Susan. I love that. Well, her and we've been working out together for years. So I'm really honored that you trusted me on the mindset component to bring that together where you had the physical part of working out and now this more the mental and emotional aspects of like being a more integrated human and more self-accepting, and that you trusted me on your journey through that. I don't take that lightly. So thank you so much. And that, there is always more to go, like there's always more to unfold. And when Susan's done with her 12 modules, she's got lifetime access. All of my clients do. And you are welcome to revisit the modules because that's what'll happen. You go through and you're at a certain stage in your life, and then maybe you take a few months off and you may want to go back to the beginning because you just like answering the same questions, but like a whole layer deeper because you're ready. So it's a constant, continuous process. And at this point, hopefully you see it that it's fun and that it's exciting work. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story with the lovely ladies who are watching this and who had maybe gone through the roadmap to food freedom themselves or considering doing this work and thinking like, I don't know if there's really more for me to learn. Lots of layers to heal our emotional and mental well-being as well as our physical. So thank you so much, Susan. And if anyone, you are on Facebook, if anyone is interested in reaching out to you, is it cool if they do that?
Absolutely. Yes.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'll see you back in module 11 and our continued work. And whoever is watching this, if you have any other questions for Susan or myself, please reach out. You can send us DMs on Facebook, or you can also send an email to info@realfit.tv. Okay. Thank you so much. Bye.
Yeah.